Hey everyone, and welcome to Getting Started with Squarespace Commerce. My name's Eunice, and I'm part of the customer operations team here at Squarespace. I'm thrilled to be here with you today, introducing you to Squarespace's fundamental commerce tools. So thank you so much for joining. To start off with a little about Squarespace, our mission is to help people with creative ideas stand out and succeed online. We offer a creative suite of tools ranging from websites and domains to e commerce, email campaigns, and scheduling tools, enabling you to build your brand, share your stories, and transact with your customers in a really meaningful and beautiful way. Whether you're planning to add sales to an existing site or to build a new online business from the ground up, Squarespace has the tools you need to create an online store and start generating revenue. As a note, during today's presentation, I'll be using some tools and techniques that are taught in our Getting Started with Squarespace webinar. To learn more about Squarespace fundamentals like creating an account and building a homepage, please sign up for a session. You can also browse our full catalog of webinar offerings at learning.squarespace.com/webinars. And as a little thank you for joining us today, we've set up the discount code MERCHANT10 for all webinar attendees to use. Enter this code at checkout to take 10% off your first purchase with Squarespace, whether that be a domain name or an annual website subscription. And if you don't yet have a Squarespace site, you can create a trial site by heading to squarespace.com/templates. On our template store, filter by type and topic to see the designs that best suit what you're looking to achieve. Now, throughout the webinar, we'll mention resources you can refer to for more information on specific topics. You can find all of our help guides in our help center at support.squarespace.com, but for your convenience, we've linked all the guides mentioned in this session on our resources page. If you haven't yet done so, please take a moment to locate the resources window on your screen where you'll find a link to the page. We'll also send a follow-up email once the session ends with a link to the resources page and a recording of this session. You'll have all the information sent straight to your inbox so you can refer to them at any time. Before we jump in, if you have any questions about today's topics, feel free to type your question into the Q&A window provided. Questions are asked and answered privately, so don't be shy about reaching out. We also recommend closing your personal sites during the webinar and focusing your attention on the tools and techniques presented. After the session has ended, you can re-watch this webinar at your convenience using the same link while applying the tools to your personal sites. Now, one thing you won't see on your screen is the folder I've created on my desktop that contains several files, including images and text I'll be adding to my site. I'd recommend collecting your content files and storing them in an easy-to-access location before you begin working on your site. For my workflow, I found this makes the building process much more seamless. Okay, and now on to the agenda. Today we'll be covering the following topics: adding a store page, adding products, and connecting payment processors. Now for our demonstration, I'll be working out of these two separate browser tabs. In this first tab, I have a completed online store for Lola Sana, a health and wellness collective that offers yoga, nutrition, and meditation work, and I'll be using this site as an example to work from. And in this second tab, I have a trial site I've created. I'll be working directly in this trial site to recreate products for my finished store and to explore some back-end settings and tools like connecting payment processors that are essential for running an online business. And with that, let's dive into our first topic, adding a store page. We'll be working in the Pages panel, which is where you create and edit the pages and content of your site. Now, before you can add products to your site, you'll first need a store page. Let's take a quick look at my finished store page to get a sense of what we're going to be building today. So from the homepage of Lola Sana, I'll click into Shop to view my store. Now, the store page displays all of your products that are for sale and shows basic product information like the name, price, and a featured image. Clicking on a product opens the product details page where your customers can find more information about the product and then add it to their cart. So this product I've selected gives me ways to add product options. The first being the product color, and the second being whether or not to add a yoga mat carrier. And I'll demonstrate how to add these variants once we start adding products. And back on the shop page, I also have my category navigation here at the top of the store section. Now, if you sell multiple products, a great way to organize these products and to help your customers more easily find what they're looking for is to add categories to your products. These will appear as a navigation on the store landing page. We won't go into categories today, but a helpful tip before you begin creating your store page would be to pause and consider all your products and how you want your shop organized. You may not need categories if you only plan to sell a few items like I currently have, but since I plan to expand my offerings, these categories will definitely come in handy in the future. Okay, now let's head back to my trial site and start building. So to create that main store landing page we saw on my finished site, you'll need to add a new store page to your site. Click on the Pages panel, and then click the plus icon in the top right corner of the panel. From the Pages menu, select Store. Two store page options will appear, and you can adjust your view. Now the layout on the left has sections above the store section that include text, a background image, and a button. And the layout on the right has just the store section, as I see that the only content there are the products. You can always remove and add sections to your store page, so feel free to start with either layout. I'll start by keeping my store page simple, and I'll select the layout to the right. Okay, my page appears under main navigation, and I'll change the title of this page to Shop and then press Enter to save. Our store page layouts come with demo products, and while we can edit them and add our own information, I would prefer to remove them completely so as to start with a blank slate. I'll select a checkbox next to one of the products, select all, then delete, and delete again. Now, if you come across this error message, not to worry, you can click OK, then refresh your page. And you may need to repeat those steps once more by selecting any remaining products, then deleting and deleting again. Okay, great. So now I'm ready to begin adding my own products. Before we move on to today's second topic, I want to clarify that if your site is a trial site, it's private by default, meaning visitors won't be able to access your site and its content. Use the trial period to complete store setup. Once you upgrade to a paid subscription, your site will then be live and customers will be able to place orders. If you're adding a store page to a site that's already live, you've got a couple of options while your store page is under construction. If you've added your store page to the main navigation like I have, you can go to the Pages panel and drag and drop the store page into the Not Linked section so that it does not appear in your site navigation. Since a page in the Not Linked section is still accessible by direct URL, you can go a step further and password protect this page while you work on it. To do so, click the settings icon beside the page and add a password to the password field. This would be a wise idea as you work on a page while your site is already active. Now, continuing with my store, I'll open my shop page back up, and to add my first product, I'll click the plus icon in the top right of the store page panel, and my product picker will appear to select a product type. I want to take a moment to highlight the types of products you can add. Physical products are items I'll need to deliver, ship, or arrange for local pickup, while service products are classes, workshops, and events. Digital products are files my customers would pay for and download, like songs, videos, or even a zip file full of photos. It's not possible to switch between product types, so be sure to choose the correct product type at this stage. There are required fields for different product types to ensure you've successfully set up your store and that you've created a checkout flow that makes sense for your customers. So, for example, since physical products require delivery, shipping, or local pickup, accidentally creating a physical product for a service you offer would mean that product would need a shipping or pickup option at checkout. We want to make sure you're set up correctly from the start. So if you've got specific questions about your products, please reach out to our customer support team for more personalized assistance. We'll show you how to get in touch at the end. At the bottom, we've also included items that are not product types but are other ways to monetize your site. Membership and scheduling are add-on subscriptions that serve their own unique purposes for your site, and we'll talk about these features in a moment. Video on demand will walk you through creating a videos page within a member area, enabling you to sell exclusive access to this content. And since this is gated content that only those with memberships to your site can access, video on demand content will not appear on your store page. Now let's start by adding a physical product, which are my yoga mats. Once I've selected a product type, the product editor opens and I can start building. The first thing I'll do is add my product name, yoga mat, and then add a description and some images. As I've mentioned earlier, I have some text and images pre-saved in my files folder. I'll copy and paste my product description into the description field here. And then to upload photos for this product, I will drag them from my folder into the Add Images window in the Images section. And we'll give those a moment to load. Okay, by default, the first product image will become the product's featured image, which represents the product on the store landing page and other areas of your site. You can always change this by clicking the image upload icon next to featured image. Since images are essential to a customer's experience, I'd also recommend reviewing our product images guide to learn all about our image guidelines and tips. And remember, a link to this guide and all other guides mentioned throughout the webinar can be found on the resources page in the resources window. Scrolling down, I plan to add variants to my products, and we'll see in a moment how to add those options. But if I only offered one color for my yoga mats and no other options, like carriers, here's where I would add a price and a stock level for that sole yoga mat option. I would add my item's price, and if I ever wanted to put it on sale, I can put this item on sale at any time by switching the on sale toggle and by setting a sale price. For items that have a set or a limited quantity, turn off unlimited stock and set a stock level by typing in the number amount or by clicking the up or down arrows. I'll set the stock level back to its default unlimited stock for now. And again, if you don't have any variants for your product, here is where you will locate the automatically assigned stock keeping unit or SKU for your product. Most merchants keep this unit as is, but you can always customize by clicking into the SKU. I have a couple of variants for my product, so under variants, I'll click Add. Now for physical and service products, you can define multiple variants for a product. Options are the variation category like size whereas the variants are the different items within that category, like small, medium, and large. To add an option, click the Options drop-down menu. You can choose from presets like color, size, material, or click Custom to add your own. I'll start by adding a color option. In the Variants field, enter the different variants you offer, pressing Enter after each addition. My first variant will be teal. Press Enter, and pink. Press Enter. I'm going to add one more variant by clicking Add Option. And this time I'll select Custom, as my customers will have the option to add a yoga mat carrier. So I'll type in the name of this option, carrier. And then in the variants field, I'll add the two variants, with carrier. Press Enter, and without carrier. Enter. To the right, a preview of the drop-down menus variants we'll use on the product details page will display. And since I want the color drop-down menu to appear first, I'll place my cursor to the left of the color row, and using the hand icon that appears, I'll drag and drop this row above the carrier row. And these changes are also reflected in the preview to the right. Now that I'm done here, I'll click Save to save my changes. And then now I'll proceed to add prices and stock levels for each variant. So here back in the product editor, I now have all my variant combinations listed. I'll click Edit All to add inventory details for each variant. I'll set the price of the teal without carrier and pink without carrier mats to $20. And then I'll set the price of yoga mats with carriers to $25 to cover the cost of the carriers. Each variant also has its own stock level and SKU. To avoid overselling, I'll need to be accurate with my inventory, so I'll click into the stock field for my first variant, teal with carrier, switch the toggle off for unlimited stock, and then enter 15 for the stock level. And I'll enter the same for teal without carrier. I happen to have a few more pink yoga mats, so I'll set the stock level to 20 for each. If I ever happen to run out of a variant combination, such as teal yoga mats with carriers, I could then delete that unavailable combination by clicking the trash icon to the right of the row. Okay, next, I want to add variant images so that when customers select the variant they want to purchase, they'll see what the variant looks like. I'll click the image upload icon to the left of teal with carrier, and I'll choose from the images I've already uploaded for the product. If you want to add images you have not yet uploaded, you can click the plus icon to upload new ones. Since I'm reusing my images, I'll select the image with the teal yoga mat and then click Apply to save. And I'm going to add that same image for teal without carrier. And then I'll move on to my pink yoga mats, adding my image with the pink yoga mat to those variants. Lastly, you can add the weight and dimensions of each variant, which is necessary if you plan to offer weight-dependent or carrier-calculated shipping options. Adding accurate weight and dimensions of your products will correctly determine shipping prices and will ensure customers are not over or undercharged. We go into more detail on shipping in our Setting Up Shipping and Taxes for Squarespace Commerce webinar. Now that I've added all variant information, I'll click back to move on. And now I see that each of my variants has an image, a price, and a stock level. Yoga mats are a one-time purchase, but if this were a product that would make sense to set up as a subscription, like essential oils or teas, I could do so by scrolling to checkout and selecting subscription to indicate how often the recurring charge would be. To learn more, visit our guide on subscription products. Since I'm done setting up this product, I'll hover over Save in the top right. Selecting Save will save all the details I've just entered, but will keep this product hidden in my store. Selecting Publish will make this product visible on my store page immediately, while Schedule will have my product appear at a later time of my choosing if I'm not ready to make it available just yet. Since I'm done adding my product details at this time, I'll publish this product to my store page. And there we have my very first product. Let's take a look at this product to test that I've created it the way I intend. Clicking on the item, I'm directed to the product details page. I can select the first drop-down menu to choose my desired color, and then select the second drop-down menu to choose whether I want a yoga mat carrier. Switching between the colors changes the product image, while choosing between the carrier options changes the price. Since we dove thoroughly into variants, one final feature I want to demonstrate before moving on to the next product is the option to change the variant display from drop-down menus to buttons. Hovering over Edit in the top left of my product details page, I can select Edit Design, then Edit Section. There are lots of ways to adjust the format of a product details page, and any changes made here will apply to all product details pages. When I click on Variant Display, I see an option to switch the display to buttons. The style of these buttons is determined by the secondary button style tweak located in the Colors panel in Site Styles. Next, I want to add a workshop that I'm hosting at the studio, which I'll add as a service product. Service products are great for classes, events, and workshops that don't have to be booked at specific times, so this is perfect for my one-day event. Before we add the new product, let's save these changes. Then exit. And in my shop page, I'll click the plus in the left panel to add a new product. Before I select service, I want to highlight scheduling here at the bottom. As my business grows and I hire more employees, I'd love to offer regular appointments and classes for something like a nutrition program. Since this could involve recurring appointments and different employee availabilities across locations, I would turn to Squarespace scheduling for a comprehensive booking system. Commerce service products would be fitting if your main goal is to sell classes and events, but if you want your clients to have more flexibility and options around scheduling and booking, then Squarespace scheduling is for you. We have a guide to help you decide between commerce service products, scheduling appointments, and events, which you can find on the resources page. I would also recommend checking out our Squarespace Scheduling Fundamentals webinar for a thorough introduction to this add-on feature. Now back to adding products. Here I'll select Service, and this product will be my workshop titled Nutrition for Your Mind and Body, taking place on July 1st at 1 p.m. And like I did earlier, I'll copy and paste my product description and add an image from my folder. Okay, next I'll add the price, $30. And since my room capacity is limited to 20 people, I'll turn off the unlimited stock toggle and give this a stock level of 20. Okay, those are all the details for my workshop. So now that I'm finished with this product, I'll hover over Save and Publish. And here are my two products. So far, I've demonstrated how to create new products using our built-in features, but if you've got a shop on Etsy, Shopify, or Big Cartel, you can import your physical and service products to Squarespace. To do so, go back to the home menu and go to Commerce, Inventory, and click Import. To learn more about importing products from third-party platforms, visit our guide on importing products from Etsy, Shopify, and Big Cartel. Note, however, that importing products is a one-time process. To sync your inventories between Squarespace and third-party platforms so that they're automatically updated, you can use Squarespace extensions. Now, since I'm already in the inventory panel, I want to demonstrate how you can add a new product directly within this panel. For my next product, which will be a digital product, I'll click Add Product in the upper right-hand corner and select Digital Download. With digital products, customers are emailed the downloadable link once they've made the purchase. And what's different about digital products is that they don't support adding a stock level or variants. To demonstrate, I'll add my product name to the product editor, A Beginner's Guide to Eating Healthy. And I'll paste my product description here. I'm going to add my product image next. And below that, under Inventory, I'll drag my file to the Upload File window. So here's my digital download. And lastly, let's add a price. So this will be $10. Okay, let's take one last look. Okay, now that I'm done, I'll hover over Save and Publish this product. Now, when it comes to digital content, you might be interested in giving exclusive access to members-only pages of your site. This is possible with member areas. With this feature, visitors can sign up for memberships to access gated content on your site, which could include course content, audio or visual media, or community pages. And as a great way to monetize your content, you can charge membership fees. For my site, for example, I could offer my members video tutorials of the practices we teach in our studio so that those who cannot make our in-person classes or who want to continue practicing at home can have access to the courses at any time. Members will log into their account to see the members-only pages that are not accessible to the general public. You can test out this feature for free by navigating to Settings, Member Areas, and then switch the toggle on to start creating your own gated content. Once you're ready to sell memberships to your site, you'll need to purchase a plan for this add-on subscription. To learn more about member areas, visit our guide on getting started with member areas. Now, once you've built your inventory, it's time to connect a payment processor to set up a way for your customers to pay you. With Squarespace, your customers can pay with a credit card, debit card, Apple Pay, PayPal, or Venmo, and it's up to you to decide if you only want to accept cards or both cards and PayPal. Let's head back to the home menu and go to Commerce and scroll down to Store Payments. This is where you can set up your payment processors. To accept credit cards, debit cards, or Apple Pay payments, you'll need to connect Stripe to your site. Stripe is a third-party payment processor that Squarespace has partnered with to make sure merchants can complete transactions smoothly and bank their sales revenue efficiently. Those who have not used Stripe before will be prompted to create an account after clicking Stripe. It's free to do so. I've already connected my account, so I can click into the Stripe panel to check on my payment activity and enable or disable Apple Pay payments. For users on our business or commerce plans and based in the United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, or the UK, Squarespace offers an integration with Afterpay, known as ClearPay in the UK, which can be connected from this panel as well. Afterpay is a payment processor that customers can use to pay for physical products in installments with 0% interest. Afterpay acts as a lender. When a customer pays with Afterpay, you receive the full amount from Afterpay upfront, and your customers reimburse Afterpay in installments over the next 4 weeks. Heading back to the payments panel, below Stripe, I have the option to connect PayPal. PayPal users can check out by using their PayPal account balance to complete transactions. And similar to Stripe, clicking Connect PayPal here will prompt me to set up a new account or to log into an existing one. As a note, you will need a PayPal business account to use this feature. For those with a personal account, you can upgrade while connecting your account. Be sure to follow all of the steps in our guide on accepting PayPal. Accounts must be properly set up to ensure successful transactions. Once you activate PayPal, your customers will also have the option to pay with Venmo whenever they check out on their mobile devices. Additionally, you can connect Square to use Squarespace Point of Sale to sell your items in person. Please note that this POS option is only available for those based in the US at this time. As we won't be diving into in-person sales today, we recommend checking out our help guide, Selling with Squarespace Point of Sale, for more details on how to set that up. In this panel, I can also update the store currency for my site. Squarespace commerce sites can accept over a dozen currencies, including US dollars, euros, British pounds, and Mexican pesos. You can accept one currency at a time. Finally, I want to see what the checkout process is like, so I'll enable test mode, which lets me go through checkout as if I were a customer. At the bottom of the payments panel, I'll click test mode and enable this feature, then save my changes. This is a great way to go through the checkout flow your customers will experience without needing to place an actual order using a real credit card. Once you've added at least one product to your site, connect Stripe, then enable test mode. You can go through the process like your customers would by adding a product to your cart and completing checkout. And just as you would with a regular order, you'll receive an order confirmation email, and this test order will also appear in your orders panel. Once you're done running test orders, you'll need to remember to turn off test mode in the payments panel before going live with your store. Now, throughout the session, I've demonstrated adding physical, service, and digital products to my online store for my health and wellness collective. At any point in my business journey, customers might express interest in purchasing branded merchandise like apparel or accessories. For this, I could turn to Printful. Printful is an on-demand service, which means they print, pack, and ship orders for you, and you pay the cost of production only when you make a sale. This is a great way to sell custom merch without having to maintain an inventory. To demonstrate how to sell custom merch on your site, I'll head back to the Commerce panel, then go to Custom Merch. Since I've already connected my Printful account, I can click Add Product to be directed to Printful's products page. There are so many products to choose from, and today I'm looking to create custom candles. I'll do a quick search for it, and then I'll proceed to add my logo for customization. Clicking on the Design tab, I'll select Choose File. My logo is already uploaded to my Printful account, so I'll hover over the image and click Apply. Next, proceed to mockups. I'll choose Basic Mockups. And these are the images that will sync to my site and become my product images. I can select a main mockup to be my product's featured image, and I'm really liking this first one, so I'll stick with that. And then I'll go to the Additional tab to add additional product images that customers can browse on the product details page. I'll select all of these and then proceed to details to view the product information, which will also sync to my site. I'm going to keep the product description as is, but I'll edit the product title by adding Volasana to it. At the bottom of the details page, there is a product visibility checkbox to enable you to publish this product to your online store. Next, proceed to pricing. Printful charges you the cost of the materials, printing, and shipping. The pricing you set helps you make the revenue you want. The default price here is looking a bit low or none at all. So I'll adjust that to $25. And then I'll click Set Revenue to set my revenue to a percentage or dollar amount. I'll adjust that retail price again. Okay, finally, I will click Submit to Store. And this will take a moment, but once this is complete, I'll then be able to view my new custom merch on my store page. Okay, great. So let's head back to my store page to take a look. So here's my trial site. We'll head back to the home menu and I'll refresh my page. Yep, and there we have it. Here is my custom candle. I'm going to click on the product to ensure the product details page looks correct. If I wanted to delete any of the mock-up images or add my own images, I could edit this product by hovering over Edit in the top left, click Edit Product, and then in the Images section, I can delete any of the images by clicking the trash icon that appears when you hover over an image. And I can also add my own by clicking plus. I'm really liking all the images at this time, and I won't be making any changes. So let's click Save. And we're done. Here it is again. When customers buy custom merch through your Squarespace store, they'll go through the same checkout flow as you've created on your site, paying with the payment method you've set up, and even selecting the shipping methods you create. As a note, if you don't have any shipping options set up at the time of connecting Printful, a shipping option will automatically be created, which you can edit at any time. Once customers complete checkout in Squarespace, the order will be sent to Printful and fulfilled automatically by them, including packaging and shipping. You can learn more about this exciting way to add a new revenue stream to your business by viewing our guide on how to sell custom merchandise through Printful. Earlier, we also mentioned syncing your inventories between Squarespace and third-party platforms. You'll find an extension for an automatic way to achieve this, along with other tools that help you streamline certain key tasks. Check out our extensions webinar for more on growing your business with these tools. Now, I haven't yet finished building my store or taken it for a test drive, but when I've completed those steps, I would then be ready to launch my business. For those starting with a new site, this would mean upgrading from a trial to a paid site. Once you upgrade to paid service, your site will be live and you can start transacting. Click the subscribe button that appears at the bottom of your trial site to see details for each of our plans. You can also review what each plan offers at squarespace.com/pricing. For those who already have an active Squarespace website, launching your online business could mean moving the store page to your main navigation, connecting a payment processor, or upgrading to a supported plan. Squarespace Commerce is supported on the Business, Commerce Basic, and Commerce Advanced plans. The Commerce plans have no Squarespace transaction fees and include some additional store-centric features like advanced commerce analytics. Business and Commerce plans include a free year of Google Workspace, an email integration we have with Google. With Google Workspace, I can set up an email address at my domain, like info@lolasana.net, and use that to maintain brand consistency through all my customer interactions. You can set up Google Workspace in your site's Settings Google Workspace panel. As mentioned earlier, once you choose a plan and check out, your site is live and available for anyone to browse. If you've added your store page to the main navigation but don't intend for it to appear there just yet, you can drag and drop it into the not link section so that it does not appear in your site navigation like we demonstrated earlier. Once your site is live, you can then move the store page back to the main navigation like so, and a link to it will appear in your site navigation. Remember that you can also password protect this page while you work on it. To do so, click the settings icon beside the page to add a password to the password field. Another option is to set a site-wide password in the Settings Site Availability panel. Finally, for those who want to begin promoting their online store prior to launch, can consider creating a landing page. A landing page works great as a coming soon or under construction page and will certainly keep your customers' interest peaked. For more on this, visit our guide on creating a landing page. And with that, we have concluded the first in our Squarespace Commerce series. To recap, we covered adding a store page, adding different types of products, along with viewing and editing basic product details, and connecting payment processors and enabling test mode. Be sure to keep an eye out for the next webinar of our series where we'll walk you through adding shipping options and taxes. Now, before we part, I want to highlight some great resources you have at your disposal while you're working on your sites. In our resources window, you can find our resources page along with a link to Squarespace Help for all of our guides and video tutorials for the various features of Squarespace. In addition to our help site, we also have our customer support team available via email and live chat to answer any questions you may have while working on your website. To reach customer support, you can scroll to the bottom of any guide on support.squarespace.com or visit squarespace.com, scroll all the way down, and select Contact Us. And for any topics that fall outside the scope of our support, don't hesitate to post those questions on our forum. You can find links to the forum in the resources window. You can also use the Squarespace app to manage your site on the go. This is available on both Android and iOS devices. We offer additional webinar sessions focused on a range of other Squarespace topics. Visit learning.squarespace.com for more. To wrap up today, again, you can access this webinar session URL to rewatch this webinar at any time. We'll also resend you the link to this session in our follow-up email, along with a link to the resources page. And remember, we have set up the Merchant 10 discount code so all webinar attendees can take 10% off their first purchase at checkout. Once again, my name is Eunice, and it was my pleasure to introduce you to the basics of setting up your store today. Take care.